WBC World Champion, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing blue trunks and hailing from our nation's capital of Washington, D.C. He weighed in at a trim and ready 157.5 pounds. His record 35 wins, 2 losses, with 23 wins coming by way of knockout. Here is the 2-time WBC middleweight champion of the world, introducing Keith Holmes. And his opponent across the ring, the IBF World Champion on my left, fighting out of the blue corner. He is wearing black trunks with gold trim, fighting out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. He weighed in at 159 pounds. His record 38 wins, 2 losses, 1 draw, with 28 big wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight he is making the 13th defense of his title. Please welcome the IBF middleweight champion of the world, introducing Bernard, the Executioner Hopkins. Once again, our referee in charge, Steve Smoker, now to give instructions. 12 rounds of boxing schedule.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you all right, babe? Keith. All right, gentlemen, you were giving your instructions at the weigh-in. I want you to obey my commands at all times. Respect the bell, and above all, protect yourself at all times. God bless. Touch him up. Touch him up. Everything is fine. Everything is fine. Don't start. Get in the corner. Get in the corner.
You can't hurt me, Steve. You can't hurt me.
Sometimes it takes a long time to become young, as Bernard Hopkins has appeared the last couple of years. But you can also get old very fast in this game, and Hopkins is, by at least 4 years, the oldest fighter in this tournament.
Tommy.
Keith Holmes is younger, potentially hungrier. But will that hunger mean something against the tenacity and skills of Bernard Hopkins?
Holmes has got to be in position to make the big guy. He's talked all the big talk, make him run into something. I wouldn't take any steps forward. Make him come to you. And of course, Hopkins he's talked the fire now. He's got to bring the burner.
It was interesting, George. I had a conversation with 130-pound star Sharmba Mitchell, who actually 140-pound star Sharmba Mitchell, who has sparred down in Washington, D.C. with both Holmes and William Joppy in this tournament. He said Holmes hits very hard if he catches you at the end of his punches. You can limit his power by stepping inside and making him shorten his punches up.
Yeah, that's the way it is with most guys, especially with the longer arms. They need that extension for power.
Don't punch. Step. The mouth down.
This is where Hopkins wants to be and Holmes doesn't.
In case you can read Holmes's waistband, that designation, Ben Yehuda, son of Judah, is his name in Hebrew. He's a member of a small sect called the African Hebrew Israelites.
Don't punch. Step out. Hurry, don't punch. Step. When I say don't punch, you break clean. Come on.
Holmes keep that right jab out there all time. He has to jump in, and when he's in there, he's out of position. That's why it turns into a clinch.
When he's in rhythm, Holmes throws an average of more than 40 jabs per round. That's against other opponents. If he can average more than 40 jabs a round against Bernard Hopkins, Hopkins will have a challenge getting inside.
Hands up.
expected almost an overhand left that Holmes thrown. Almost.
Round one, a tactical round. If they fight 12 rounds like that, Keith Holmes is going to be a happy man.
Okay, baby. You got to get busy with the left hand, son. Let it know what the left hand's all about. You're not jabbing enough. Don't worry about it landing. Just let it move, okay? Just let the hand move. Got the towel. You get in close, let them shots rip inside. All right, baby? Let them rip up inside.
Play with him. The only way you're going to set him up for that straight left hand is off that jab. You keep that jab out in front of him. Okay. Okay? All right.
Swallow.
Now don't stand. Don't stand direct in front of him. Move around it. Don't stand direct in front of him. Okay? So keep the stick in front of him.
Keep the stick on.
All right.
Lead
you gotta do that.
Lead that. Take your time.
All right?
All right. Deep breath. Stay focused too, okay? Stay focused.
I scored that first round even, and if you're wondering what happens in the tournament if there's a draw, they do it again.
CompuBox numbers in the first round favored Hopkins. 10 of 31 for 32%. Holmes only 6 of 36. Holmes landing only 2 of 27 jabs. But they stayed at distance, and that's what I was referring to when I said that Holmes would like the fight if it stayed that way. They'll have to be more active.
I said that right straight left hand that Holmes threw was unexpected because it had a little power on it. Hopkins tasted something I don't think he's prepared to taste a lot of.
Don't punch. Step, step. Hey, don't punch. Don't punch. Step, step, step. Step out.
Keith Holmes has got eyes like flashlights. You can believe he's using them. Sees the whole body of Hopkins.
Holmes, for his part, says that he thinks Hopkins closes his eyes when he comes in. In fact, he said Bernard's big strength is intimidating fighters before the fight and then fouling them during the fight.
When you're fighting a guy with good eyes and reflexes like Holmes, you got to stay real close to them. Keep your hand on them at all times because they can see any little slip up you throw.
Straight right hand by Hopkins, partially blocked by Holmes. Now Hopkins goes to the body with success.
Let him out, let him out. Don't punch, don't punch. Stop holding him, and he'll watch his head. Come on. Don't punch, don't punch. Step.
Hopkins is pretty smart. He watches when the referee is on one side and he hits down low. He's certain the referee can't see him.
Don't punch, don't punch. Step out, step out, step out, step out.
This is why you should raise your tall left-handed sons to be relief pitchers, not fighters.
Keep the pressure on, baby. Keep the pressure on. Keep it on. Keep it on. Keep it on. Use that left hand a little more inside for me, son. Just a little more, okay? Give me a step.
I get my rhythm, that's all.
Okay, you're picking it up. You're getting it up. You're getting it up.
Playing him in box, okay?
You got to keep this guy up. Come on.
You got it. You got it, Keith.
Come on.
You got the move. Keith, you got it? Yeah. That's the key right there. Box,
right.
baby, okay? Right?
Come on now. You got to use that stick. Look, you aren't going to hit him with that left hand until you hit him with that right jab.
Straight.
Okay? You got to hit him with that first. Come on there. Hit the circle with some body shots on the inside.
Good.
Okay?
All right.
All right, but keep your jab in front of you. Come on. You gotta work it, man.
CompuBox numbers through round 2. Holmes, seen by CompuBox's punch counters to have landed only 8 of 57 jabs. Hopkins with a 22-7 edge in Power Connect. Round 2, much more to Hopkins' liking in terms of style. And you heard Holmes' corner asking him to step forward and land the jab so that he can start to set up something else. Hopkins with a hard right hand up the middle.
Hopkins trying to make Holmes take the lead and then counter him. Something Holmes would be uncomfortable with, preferring to counter punch.
When a guy's following you around, hitting you on all kinds of places like Holmes is doing, like Hopkins is doing Holmes, you find yourself trying to protect yourself more than executing what your corner tells you to do. That's what's happening to Holmes now.
So Hopkins has managed to put Holmes on the defensive.
Hey, don't punch, don't punch.
There it was, just as you said, George. Bernard Hopkins throwing borderline low blows right on the belt line on the side away from Steve Smoker.
And the referee isn't tall enough to kind of peep over.
George, the referee would have to be about 6'6" to peep over some of those.
Well, if you're not tall enough, get around there. You got to move both sides.
Hopkins diving in to go to the body there.
Hey, don't punch, don't punch. Stop.
You teach your fighter to watch the opponent, but Hopkins is watching the referee.
Hey, don't punch, Bernard.
Bernard Hopkins repeatedly said in pre-fight public appearances leading up to this, if I can't knock out Keith Holmes, I don't deserve to win this tournament. This won't go the distance. Holmes said, let him talk. I've been an underdog all my life. I don't mind being an underdog here.
Now that good combination was instigated with a punch below the belt. And the referee couldn't stop and warn him because the action got better. This is a smart character, Hopkins.
It's starting to become more of a close quarters brawl than a boxing match.
Hey, don't punch, don't punch.
And by all odds and expectations, that should favor Bernard Hopkins.
Now, Hopkins has to take a breath after all of those punches. This is when Holmes should be right on him. Get right back on him.
As round 3 comes to a close, Keith Holmes not active enough to put any pressure on Bernard Hopkins. For boxing, mark these dates on your calendar. 1 week from tonight.